All of the furnishings, from the cushions on the benches to the condiment holders, look dated, but aren't overly worn. I wonder if Lily deliberately selects places like this to take Hanako. She seems like the type that would go to lengths to cater to Hanako's unique predicament.
So, Hisao, I didn't know you played chess.
Well, not very well, but I do know how to play.
I suppose the obvious question would now be, who won?
Lily's innocent smile makes me hesitate. I don't really want to look like I'm lording my victory over Hanako.
Hisao did.
Yes, but, not by much. Damn, saying that out loud makes me feel like I've done something terrible.
Well done, Hisao. You've accomplished something I've only ever failed at.
Thanks? I haven't played in ages, so it felt good to play again.
Yes, it did.
Hanako fidgets with her hair a little and looks away as she replies, but a small smile emerges. It's a little more extreme of a reaction than I expected, but still kind of cute in that Hanako way. It throws me a little off guard, and only Yuko's cataclysmic re-entry shocks me back into the conversation. Are you alright there, Yuko? Do you need a hand? I'm fine. I have to do this properly. It's my job. Concentration plays across her face while she stares at the tray in her hands, as if simply looking at its contents will hold them in place. Sadly, this doesn't prove all that effective, and cups and saucers slowly dance around, occasionally clattering as they collide with one another. Is she just vibrating?
Yeah. I was like, what's wrong with my screen?
Taking great care, Yuko sets a tray down on the table with only the subtlest of crashes. There, see? Well done?
Thank you, Yuko.
Yuko's head rockets downward in her distinctive bow before answering. You're very welcome.
Would you like to join us? There's something else I'd like to discuss about that recent order, if I may.
Ah, that's right. Lily and Yuko were discussing a pile of books when I first met Hanako. Something about Lily helping with the braille? Ah, yes. We didn't get the chance to go through them, did we? Yuko hastily sits down next to Hanako. Apparently, her dedication to this job only goes as far as her concentration. Once it is broken, she suddenly loses it. I'll be in the library tomorrow afternoon if you'd like to try again.
That sounds perfect. I'll meet you there after classes.
Lily?
Oh dear, that's right. Tomorrow is Monday. How could I have forgotten?
I'm starting to feel a little left out of the loop here. Then again, that's to be expected. I have been here for barely a week, so it's impossible to know everyone's schedule.
Well, perhaps we could come to some other arrangement. Yuko, will you be in the library later this week?
Maybe, but this is already overdue.
And there are some things I need.
This might be a problem.
Lily ponders for a second before discovering the answer.
I wonder...
Oh...
Get out my line!
Get out my lines!
I wonder, might we be able to enlist the help of another if need be?
To do what? You lost me quite some time ago. Being volunteered for something without even having the slightest idea of what is going on isn't really my thing. And here I thought I finally escaped the clutches of the student council and their repeated attempts to recruit me.
Oh, of course. The other day I was helping Yuko sort the new Braille books in the library. But Hanako and I usually go shopping on Monday afternoons. It's quieter on that day than on weekends. Last week we couldn't go because I was busy with the festival. I managed to slip away later in the week, but Hanako couldn't make it.
Well, since I can't read Braille, I'm assuming you'd like me to go shopping with Hanako.
Correct. You were a great help with me the other day.
I think I can handle that. Hanako, what do you think?
If you wouldn't mind.
Of course not. I'm still not familiar with all the stores in the area, so it sounds like a good idea.
Okay.
It's a date. Yes! Yes! I was hoping you would react in character. Yes!
You're welcome. And now that we have that arranged, shall we have some tea?
It's now that I realize our tea has been sitting idly by all this time, getting no hotter. It's my fault. Let me pour that for you. Yuko reaches out with shaking hands, but I intercept her. She looks in no state to be handling hot liquids. It's alright, I've got it. Since you've already made the tea and sandwiches, you've fulfilled your waitress duties, right? I guess. Yuko relaxes a little, but still watches eagerly as I share out the assortment. As I am about to bite into the sandwich, a low, loud rumble can be heard along with a flash of light from the outside.
Ah, I take it the show has started.
Only now, looking outside, I realize the dusk has come and gone, leaving us in the peak of twilight. Sparkling tracers arc upwards, ready to explode in the floral shapes of fireworks. Let's go watch! Oh, sorry, Lily.
Please, don't miss the show on my account. From what I've heard, this isn't a bad location to watch them from.
Oh. Hey.
That is so cute!
With the exception of Lily, we rush to the window of the small tea house to watch the show. The strobe of colored lights play across Hanako and Yuko's smiling faces, and for a second I forget to look out the window. In this totally new world where there are a few things that don't change. I think that's why the school makes such a fuss over this festival. It's a chance to show the similarities between everyone. The show is over all too quickly. Fireworks are expensive, even for the most well-funded schools. Before we return to our tea and sandwiches, Hanako turns to me.
Thanks for today. And tomorrow.
That's okay. I don't think that I could have faced those crowds either. On days like this, it's more relaxing to spend some time away from everyone, don't you think?
Yeah.
Anyway, we've been delaying this tea for far too long now. Let's get back.
Sure.
We return to the booth and our light meal.
That sounded impressive. Bigger than last year's at least.
Yeah, that was great. I've never seen them put on such a show. It gets better every year.
I'm afraid, however, that during that time the tea has gone cold.
Oh no! Let me make some more. This is my fault. Calm down, Yuko. It's nobody's fault. I take a sip from my cup just to prove the point. This tea isn't too bad cold anyway. It's like iced tea. Really? Yes, really. If you add a bit of sugar, it's kinda nice. Are you sure? I'm positive. Now, why don't you sit down and we'll finish this together? Oh, okay. Yuko doesn't seem convinced, but sits down regardless. She carefully measures out the 5 teaspoons of sugar and adds them to her tea.
Oh my god.
I said a bit of sugar. I know, but I like my tea sweet anyway.
Wow, she's like you.
Yep. Yep.
Like, you want a coffee? Yes, a small one. What are you taking it? 6 sugars and 1 cream.
It's not that bad. Stop. Stop. But you're not entirely wrong. Yeah,
No.
You're not entirely wrong. Curiously, I peer into her cup. As expected, hardly any of the sugar dissolves in the cold liquid. She stirs it twice before upturning the cup and drinking the contents, sugar and all, in a single mouthful. You're right, that's not bad at all. Oh, good. I look back to Lily and Hanako, both of whom have finished their meal, as I witness Yuko's personality in action. Not wanting to hold anyone up, I use her tactic and finish the remainder of my tea in a single swig. Well then, it seems we're all finished.
Should we head back now, or do we want seconds?
Yuko's expression shows that this is quite clearly not a good idea. I think that it would be best if we got back soon. We do have to get back before curfew after all.
Oh, that is a good point. I'll meet you tomorrow, Yuko.
I'll be looking forward to it, Lily. And goodbye, everyone. We make our way out of the small tea house and into the dark of the night. Lily and Hanako once again take point, but under the cover of darkness, Hanako seems slightly less stressed than she did on the trip here. We move across the occasional group of people emptying the school grounds, but Hanako seems to lead us along a few minor roads, avoiding the bulk of the crowd. Outside the dorms, the school seems strangely quiet when compared to the noise of the day. Well then, thank you both for today. I think I learned a lot.
You're most welcome, but I'm afraid that I really must be going. Today's been a long day.
That's right. Lily spent all of today on her feet, and I can imagine what walking around outside of the school would be pretty tiring for her. I feel a pang of guilt as I remember that I was probably the only one in the school that got up around 10 this morning. Sure thing. Well, I'll see you both tomorrow. Good night.
Good night, Hisao.
Night.
The girls returned to their dorm and I to mine. Actually, now that I consider it, today tired me out as well. Here it is. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done.
Oh my
I can't.
That was the cutest
I
thing.
literally can't even. I was just about to say, oh my god, this is the darkest cutscene we've ever had, and it just turned into the. I'm tearing. I am physically tearing right now.
Can confirm. Can confirm.
Oh.
Viewers, Sangka's crying a little bit.
No.
Aww. Ah, so freaking cute. Hisau's a good-looking dude. He's a sweet guy when he's not being a dick. And
That
Hanako's
one
freaking adorable.
That was dark to start off with.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was super dark. I thought I was just gonna... If that continued anymore, I probably would have just... You know, the feels.
Yeah.
But that was probably the longest cutscene. Like, there was
totally,
a lot
yeah.
of... There was a lot put into that.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. That's so cute.
I feel like by the end of this... Because we get to... You find out about her past. I feel... I'm just saying, I feel that... I don't know if I can handle it. I don't know if I can handle with best waifu.
Yeah. There'll be some tears. Tears will be shed. Yeah.
We can do this. We can do this. We just started. It can't keep it together. Keep it together.
Yep.
My alarm blares into my ears, only to be swiftly silenced by my fist. My fist of fury.
Ah.
My body switches into auto mode, carrying my subconscious self out of bed and into my uniform. As always, my bottles of pills sit on my desk. Really? I don't know if you could hear that, but my fucking phone. As always, my bottles of pills sit on my desk, patiently waiting for me to take them and pick out my daily dosage of medicine. 17 pills a day. Before I know it, I'm opening the door to class 3-3, glad to see that I'm not the only one who seems to be a little hung over from festival week. Every face in the classroom looks gaunt. With the festival now over, it's as if everyone's life dreams have been achieved. With nothing left to live for, the students have relied on instinct alone to guide them to class.
Okay,
Or
that's a little drastic.
maybe I'm just reading too much into it.
Yeah.
I slowly make my way to my seat, and it's only then that I realize why the room is so peaceful. The seats beside me are blissfully empty, and the world's loudest interpreter for the deaf has yet to arrive. Just as I'm about to sit down, the door flies open, revealing a resplendent Misha, drills bobbing, and the dramatic entrance and arms stretched toward the sky.
Yeah! It's all over!
It would appear that not everyone is affected by the post-festival depression. The rest of the class glare at her, obviously thinking the same thing as I am. Misha, still frozen in the doorway with her arms still in the air, nervously looks around. It's obvious she senses the foul mood, but can't work out exactly what to do. Suddenly, she jerks forward.
Hey!
As she stumbles into the classroom, she reveals Shizune's, arms still extended from where she shoved Misha. Thanks for the entertainment, but shouldn't you two take your seats? Still slightly embarrassed, Misha takes a few seconds to realize she has to translate.
Oh yeah, Shi-chan says she's not happy with you ditching us last week. We are really busy.
Is that so? Let it go. Just let it go. Is that so? What about the stuff I already did for you two?
Oh, she mad.
She says that only counts for council members. Since you declined, she doesn't owe you anything.
Misha leans closer and whispers conspiratorially into my ear.
Whisper? Is she capable of a whisper? Okay.
Actually, I think she's just a little sore that you didn't spend the day with her.
That's as quiet as I could go. I'd
Yeah,
probably,
well,
yep.
Yeah. I mean, she does hang around with deaf Shizune,
Yeah.
right? So her whisper could just be, you know...
That's
Not
true, just
whisper.
leaning in.
She's really thankful for your work last week, though.
Sensing that she is being talked about, Shizune lightly wraps her finger on her desk until Misha turns around to face her. I can't understand any of the fast-paced signing that's going on, but from Shizune's slightly embarrassed expression and Misha's poor contained laughter, I can guess. While this exchange is happening, the door opens once again, but this time at a much more reasonable pace. Hanako quietly enters the room and pulls the door closed behind her. Peering out from under her hair, she quickly scans the classroom. Our eyes meet, and she suddenly stiffens. She closes her eyes, takes a deep breath, and then walks over to my desk.
Good morning, Hisa.
Oh! Dead courage!
Oh, yes! Morning, Hanako. You're a little late, aren't you?
I was talking to Lily about today.
Ah, so you've got her list then. We can leave straight after classes in that case.
Sure.
I'm looking forward to it. Hanako briefly flashes her embarrassed smile at me, then hurries off to her seat.
Wow!
She's so
During-
cute.
She's so adorable. During classes, it becomes apparent that it's not only the students that are a little despondent after the festival. Muto simply gives us a list of exercises from the textbook and then sits behind his desk. I totally forget about the brief lunch period for a moment. Such is the banality of the day. It's mind-numbing and everyone seems surprised when the bell signals the end of the lessons. As I'm packing up my bags, Shizune and Misha flank and entrap me.
Seiji-chan, it's still not too late to join up. There's a lot of post-festival paperwork for us to complete.
Sorry, Misha. I've got plans. As if sensing the cue, Hanako appears behind me, holding a small bag and trying to avoid eye contact with the outside world. Misha's eyes open wide, and then she burst into laughter.
You move fast, don't you, Hee-chan? We won't disturb your date any further.
Behind the roaring Misha, I see Shizune taking far too little interest in the scene. I might be taking this the wrong way, but I think she's deliberately ignoring me. I feel a gentle tug on my shirt and turn to see Hanako's eyes fixed firmly on the floor.
What?
Gotcha. Shizune, Misha, I'll see you later. And I'm still not interested in the council.
Spoil sport!
Misha and Shizune retreat into the hallway, happily signing to each other. Got all your stuff? Let's head off. Floods of students pour out of the school gates and into the road into town. It's a little weird. It's almost a scene from any other high school, but the illusion fades because of the occasional wheelchair or missing limb. One thing I do notice is that nobody is alone. And, as Hanako and I pass through the gates, I notice that she closes the distance between us. Not enough to be considered close, but she certainly isn't at her usual just a little far position. I guess we're not familiar enough for her to get as close as she does with Lily. However, even though she has moved a little closer to me physically, mentally, she seems to have traveled a mile. Her hands clutch around the leather straps of her bag to a point of whitening her knuckles, her head down and her mouth pursed closed. She almost looks like she's being walked to the principal's office for the first time. I try to stifle a giggle at the thought, but it is futile.
What's the matter?
I guess there's no point in hiding it. Sorry, for a second there it looked like you were getting in trouble.
What do you mean?
I think you need to relax a little. We're not going too far and it's only students around, right?
Right.
It bothers me a little to see Hanako so worked up. And you do this every week, don't you?
Yes, with Lily.
Of course, with Lily. I wonder, has she ever left the school without her? It doesn't seem like much at first glance, but Hanako's dependence on Lily is absurdly heavy. If she can't even handle leaving the school without her, how would she have managed to survive if the two had never met? Would she have found someone else to latch onto? And what drew her to Lily? Was her lack of eyesight, or was Lily just kind enough to lend a hand? I wonder if anyone would have fit the bill. Well, I'm here. Besides, we're not going far. It'll be over before you know it. Hanako's knuckles slowly regain their color as she tries to hide a small smile, but the effort of that seems to prevent further conversation. We travel, side by side, down the winding road towards the town. The crowd of the students thins as we continue along the sidewalk. Faster students rush ahead and the less mobile ones fall behind, rarefying the crowd into nothingness. By the time we reach the convenience store, we are practically alone. Using me as a shield between herself and the attendant, Hanako moves through the narrow aisles, adding an assortment of items to her basket. Bread, milk, tea, thyme? What kind of convenience store sells herbs? Then again, nothing about this town seems normal, which may not be such a bad thing in retrospect. Everything is so different and uncomfortable. Dwelling on such matters isn't really an option. When I think about that, it reminds me of Hanako. No matter how much you try, you can't escape her scars. They still interrupt my train of thought when I see them. As much as I don't want to admit it to myself, I think I'm forcing myself to try to ignore them. Not that I am scar-free myself. The jagged line down my sternum will never completely fade away. I just have the luxury of being able to hide it easily. But, in a way, both of our scars remind me that we're all in this place for a reason. Hanako throws one last item into her basket, then sheepishly holds it out to me, along with a few banknotes.
Could you please?
It takes me a second to understand what she's trying to say. Oh, you want me to pay for this? She nods but doesn't look up. I guess this task falls to Lily on the usual occasions. Sure, let me just grab a couple of things. Hastily, I grab a few essential items for myself and head to the counter with Hanako in close tow. The attendant gives me an indifferent nod as he scans in the items. I suppose just ignoring us is one way to deal with the anomalies of Yamaku. They must get a lot of students here, being the closest store to the school. The staff must all have their own ways of dealing with us, or maybe they don't. Maybe it's only me who thinks twice about my unique schoolmates. Our transaction complete, Hanako and I head back into the street. The road is pretty much abandoned now. The students that were heading out have already left, and nobody has started returning just yet. And, with only the school ahead on the road, there doesn't seem to be anyone else around. The emptiness certainly reflects on Hanako, her arms by her side, each carrying a bag, her head no longer bowed, and back to the upright position. It's almost as if she were enjoying this walk. So, why all these weird things? Mixed spice? Why would you need that in school?
I sometimes like to make food.
Well, yeah, so do I, but spices? That's a little more advanced, don't you think?
Not really.
Well, I think it's cool. You'll have to teach me one day.
Sure.
She doesn't seem at all sure, but pushing the point doesn't seem all that wise. At the very least, she seems a great deal happier than she did on the walk down here. That alone makes me a little happier. Outside the girls' dorms, Hanako and I sort out the grocery bags with our respective purchases. In comparison, my things look positively plain. I tell you, you're putting me to shame here.
No, I'm not. I just...
I'm joking. I'm only joking. I have a stack of homework that I skipped last week, so I gotta go. Will you be alright getting that to your room?
Yeah.
Sure. Oh, okay then. I'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
We part ways and I return to my room. Piles of paper sit upon my desk, begging to be completed. With the entire ruckus of the last week, I barely had any time to catch up. I tried to keep up with my studies while I was in the hospital, but some of this stuff I've never seen before, even back in my old school. Totally unprepared, I pop the top on a can of drink and get to work. The days are really starting to heat up. This morning, I woke covered in sweat. By the time the student body starts leaving their dorms for breakfast, the morning duties, the sun has taken full effect. Oddly, that puts me in high spirits. It's not even 8, yet I feel like this day is going to be one of those pleasant, tranquil, warm ones. You just said it was hot! If I weren't at school that considered every absence from class as a sign of a life-threatening situation, I'd consider skipping the whole day and just relaxing in the school gardens. Yes, today will be a genuinely lazy day. For a second, I stop in mid-stretch and consider the nurse's warning about exercise. Maybe I should have kept up those morning jogs. Running with someone like Emmy might have been a little testing, but if I worked at my own pace... who am I kidding? I couldn't stick to someone like that without some kind of motivation. It's not like I sit around all day. The walk to and from the convenience stores count as exercise, right? Especially the walk back up the hill. Yeah, it's no big deal. Compared to months laying in the hospital bed, I'm getting plenty of exercise. Don't die on me, he shall.
Don't do it. It's okay. He didn't get any exercise with Lily. And he lived. Almost. Barely. He'll be fine.
It seems that I'm not alone in my appreciation of the day. Nearly every member of the class is glancing through the window and into the tantalizing sky. Even the steadfast Shizune seems to lack her usual vigor for schoolwork. Misha, as brazen as ever, has even unbuttoned the top of her shirt and is fanning herself with a notebook.
Damn,
Ooh.
Misha, tone it down.
Just one more button. Just one more button. Always.
He sits there like in his seat, like.
just wiping the drool. Oh, mean. I'm sorry.
What's wrong, Chan?
Nothing. Continue, please.
As
Maybe
you were.
slower, a little bit.
Okay, now faster.
Misha's like, I don't understand. You're creeping me out a little.
It's a
It's
great
over.
start.
Night,
Oh.
everyone. Good one.
Well, I must have been staring as she's now sticking her tongue out at me. Oh. Girl, put that
Back
back in
up.
your mouth.
Back off, Misha.
Put it back in your mouth. However, she shows no signs of halting her efforts, nor is she trying to hide the fact. Damn, girl!
You're not helping.
We were joking!
Oh, man.
The lunch bell seems to catch everyone by surprise, and the class empties at a much slower pace than usual. The heat seems to be draining the need to rush from everyone. Well, almost everyone.
Hisa?
Hey there, Hanako. What can I do for you today? Hanako already has a lunch bag in hand. I don't have to be a detective to work out where this is going.
Would you like to have lunch with us again? I brought enough for everyone.
Awesome. You don't have to be so stiff about it, though.
Ah, right.
I take it we're going to the tea room?
Please. Lily said she'll meet us there, so we should go ahead together.
Sounds like a plan. This heat has made me pretty hungry. Hanako breathes a sigh of relief, and I gather my things together. As usual, the aura of the tea room is refreshing, feeling isolated from the rest of the world. Then again, the usual din of the school seems to be a bit subdued, most likely from the laziness prompted by heat exhaustion. Hanako slowly spreads her food on the table, intently focusing on every little movement, as if she's trying to keep her mind off other thoughts. It's not much, but I can tell from her demeanor that she has prepared everything with utmost care. I guess Lily isn't here yet. Should we start without her?
She'll be here soon.
You try not to give. If only I could take it away, even just a little bit. Yes, there will come a time, hand in mind, we'll leave this world behind and escape this gravity.
Today can just go fuck itself.
Yep, upstairs neighbors. I know that feel.